Hello and welcome to the last edition of our third section, okay, where we're talking about reusable elements, pop-up and the rest. Now today I'm going to do repeating groups, okay, repeating groups. Now repeating group is used to display information from our applications database or from an external API, okay, from an external API. So what we do is, instead of first creating each group for each particular item one by one, we want to design it once, and then the same rule or order will be replicated in other groups. So for instance, in Etsy.com, you have a range of products, okay. Now let me just open one of them for you to see. When I open this particular product, you see from Etsy.com that it is on a particular page called what? Listing. On this listing page, there is a special code for this particular item, and then the name of the item follows, but it is on a page called listing and there's a code for it. And this particular code should differ from any other item, okay. So let me just go back to Etsy's home page and open a different product. So let's say I open this nylon sport loop strap. Now when I open this one, check the URL, you can see that it is on the same page, which is what? Listing, but it has what? A different item ID, okay. So that is what we call what? Repeating groups. So we want to, on our app, we want to display the names of our users that have signed up or that have logged in for now. So let's do something simple to display their names on the home page, users that are logged in or something. So we'll move to our design session, move down to containers, and our containers we see group and repeating groups. Click on repeating group. You can come here and draw your repeating group. Now when you draw your repeating group, from this end you can do certain changes. You can adjust the kind of scrolling you want. So for instance, we have only 4 rows here. Let's say if you have more than 4 rows, it should give you a scroll bar at the right. You can choose the type of what scrolling you want, okay. It should give you a full list. It should give you a scrolling, vertical scrolling or horizontal scrolling. I want vertical scrolling. It should also, the number of rows, you can choose it. You can choose 3. See, to reduce the number of rows we have here, and the other settings you want to do. Now what do I want to do here? I want this repeating group to display the names of users logged in or who have used this app, and then add a button here so that when a user clicks on this button, it should show the full details of this particular user on a different page, okay. So you have to select the type of content I should show, okay. So I'll click here and say user, okay. Now when you have multiple database types, you can choose it from. Now when you come to database, I have only user, okay. So that's what you do. If you have multiple ones, you can choose them from that end. Alright, so now you are supposed to indicate the data source, okay. Alright, so data source, I want to search for what? User, okay. So I want to search for user, and then the type I'll choose user. If I have multiple users, it will show. So now like I said, I want to show the name of the user here, and I'll show a button here. Okay, all right, so let me just come to test. I'll create. Now when you click on this, you can change remove the star, put all your own stars, choose your font, bold, and then font sizes and the rest. Alright, so but in my box here, I don't want to show edit me. I want to display dynamic data. Okay, so when I click on edit me, I'll click on insert dynamic data, current sales user. That's what I want to display. So I'll click on this current sales user. After choosing current sales user's full name. That's what I want to show here. So I want to show the current sales user's full name. You can see that the same thing is done in other cells. Okay, that's the essence of repeating groups, so that it will help you in not creating it in all the cells here. So that's what I want to do here. I also want to add a button. The button should show me the details. Okay, the details of a particular user. Alright, so let me adjust my button a little bit. Okay, so you can see the same thing is done in other cells. So I'll just double click on it to open this, and then I'll just write either see details or view details. So see details. Alright, you can just remove the style, add your own styles as you want. Okay, so this is what I want to do for now. Let me preview the application to see how it looks like. Now you can see SEWUNI and SEWUNI. This is because if you come to our database, we've stored the data of only 2 users here. So let me try and then sign up with other. Let me just click on this full name. Alright, IB, date of birth, I choose the month, and I choose the day, and then the year I choose 21st, and the year I choose 2000. Email I choose ib@yahoo.com. Password I choose any password at all. I sign up. It says sign up successfully. Now let me just add more. Let me just do Ibra. Let me use the same dates. Let me change the email to Ibra and the password. So I'll create another one. Let me create one more. Let me do Kofi. Let me keep the same dates. Let me do Kofi at Yahoo, and then let me sign up. Now let me just go back to my database. Let me refresh to see whether my sign-ups was indeed successful. Then I will preview the app for you to see. Let me click on all users. Now I have a lot of users, so definitely when I come to my let's save the password. When I come to this page, I will see my users here, and I can scroll. But on the first page, it's just showing me only 3, and this is my vertical scrolling I chose. So this is where I want us to do. But this button, I want this button to navigate me to a particular page where SEWUNI's full details will be shown, whether a picture, his name, his email, his password, whatever I want to show, I can display. That means that I need to create a page so that when I click on this one, it should just what navigate me or move me to that particular page where it displays the information about SEWUNI or the information about IB. Remember when we're on Etsy.com, when we click on it, it takes us to a particular page called listing. Then it will indicate the details of that particular item we've clicked on. So we want to do a similar thing here, but this time we just want to display the name of our users and then the email of our user. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just come to this part and I'll click on add new page. I have to give my page a name, so user underscore details. That is the name of my new page. If you want to clone, you can clone, and I click on create. Now this will be our new page. Alright, so I just want to display a text that will show the date, his full name, his email address, and his date of birth. Okay, so let me just copy this one. Let me just copy this one in other cells. This is it. Let me just do for the same thing. Okay, so when I do this, I want to show his full name here, his email here, and then his date of birth here. Okay. Alright, so when I copy it in 3 different cells, what I do is I'll come to my page here, okay, and double click on the page so that I can do some settings here. Now I'll come to the type of content. What content do I want to show? I want to show users content. Okay, that'll be all for here. For this part, that will be all, and then I'll move to the first cell here. You see the edit me. I'll add the dynamic data of what current users email. Okay, I'll add the dynamic data of current page user full name. Okay, and the second one I'll insert and current page user email, and then insert the current page users what date of birth. Now if you check, there's a difference between you see current user and current page user. Okay, let me show you. Now the current user is the person who is currently using the page right now, okay, or who is logged in right now. That is what the current user. Okay, and the current page user is the one you want to show his or her details here right now. Okay, so we are choosing what current page user because we want to display the details of what current page user, not the current user, because in fact you are the current user, so you want to display the current page user. Alright, so that's the difference between current user and current page user. Go back to your index. Now I want to add a workflow around this particular button so that when I click on it, it should take me to the new page I've created that will display the name or the details of the user. So I'll double click on it, this button, and I'll go to start and edit workflow. Okay, I'll click to add an action, navigation, so go to page, which page, so you show the destination page, which is what user details, and data to send. What should I send? I'm sending current cell user. Now let me show you the data. This data is this one, current cell user. Okay, you want to send the details of current cell user to this particular page or this details page. Okay, Alright, so that will be all for here. Let me preview the page to see whether everything is working as we wanted. So now let's say this is SEWUNI. When I click on see details, it should take me to a page that will display my name, the user's name, the email, and then the date of birth. Okay, it's even adding creation time. Let me go to, let me click on a different user. So let me just click on a different user. Let me click on Ibra to see the details of Ibra. This is Ibra's full name, Ibra's email, and Ibra's what? Ibra's date of birth. Okay, alright. So that will be all for this lesson, repeating groups. Now you realize that when I did it once for this, there's no need for me to come and repeat them in this ones, because you are using what? Repeating groups. Just like we saw in Etsy, when they include the item for one, they don't create each page for each item. They have a common page that you can see the details of all these ones, but they have individual what? ID numbers. This is going to be the end of the lesson, but this is going to be the end for this section. In our next section is going to be the project we are going to have, and then we will end our bubble course. Okay, thank you very much for taking part in this particular edition. Thank you. Bye bye.